Hey friends, my name is Lynn Graham, founder and CEO of Click Urban and the host of Just Minding My Black-Owned Business podcast. I'm super excited to be the host of the Future is Now Conference 2021, taking place during the week of February 8th through the 12th. So this is my personal invitation asking you to join me in seeing the vision come to life. We have an early bird price for you to take advantage of going on right now. So go to the website, thefutureisnowconference.com, and grab your tickets today.
Studio. We are honored and proud to sponsor the Future is Now 2021 virtual conference being held February 8th through 12th. Today we welcome August Crenshaw, business coach. In a world when anyone can label themselves as an entrepreneur, August Crenshaw knows the number one unique identifying factor is you. August Crenshaw is a business coach who specializes in strategy, mindset, and sales. Welcome.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, August, how are you? And welcome to our virtual studio. Good to see you.
Yes, it's good to be here. I'm excited.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your business.
Oh, absolutely. So I am a business and sales coach, and I specifically work with African American women to help them understand how to show up authentically, especially online. And I lead with that because attracting your ideal client has more to do with who you are more than it actually has to do with what you can do. Most of us that decide to be entrepreneurs already have a phenomenal skill set, but being comfortable in our own skin is a new avenue. And making sure that we're genuine with the audience and the people that we're trying to reach is most important.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, because people, that saying how it goes. People want to know that you care about them and they want to feel you first before they explore what you're offering. So I certainly agree with that.
Yeah, I was actually looking at an advertisement that came across the screen the other day. And, it was Lisa Nichols. And she was like, do you need a powerful story in order to be able to have a successful business? And she was like, no, but you do if you want to be remembered. And storytelling and letting people get to know who you are is all a part of building that authentic brand. And so what I've learned in my business and doing what I do is that we have a tendency to show up doing what we believe is expected of us versus doing what we know is our passion. And individuals, basically, especially in the African American community, we need to know that other individuals are our champions. We've been told that we're brash, we're too loud, we're too busy, we're too bossy, we're too preoccupied, we're too angry. We're just too many things, as opposed to being saying, you know what, you have a very brilliant, powerful personality. We're hushed down and our voices are often stifled. So a lot of times I find that women are trying to play the part that they think they're supposed to play. And then they wonder why it's so difficult when they're marketing a personal brand to attract the clients that God has designated them to serve.
That's interesting. Yeah. Why do you think that we do that? Is it because we think that that's what is expected of us?
Well, I know that a lot of it has to do with social conditioning. It doesn't even necessarily have to be racial. But like, for instance, look at me. I'm on here right now. I'm a successful business owner, but I can tell you that if I was going to interview for a job, there's no way in the world that my hair would have looked like this, at least not based on what I was taught. I remember my first position was at Mercantile Bank as a co-op. I was in high school. I used to wear my hair braided, and I remember being told specifically to make sure you get the job before you wear the braids. it's best to wear something that's safe, like a bob or, a nicely pressed hairdo. And while we are coming out and we're wearing braids and we're wearing locks or we're wearing colored hair, that's new. It's really more of a transition for us. And so often we've been told that we need to be safe, in order to be able to provide, to make sure that we can take care of our families. But once you become an entrepreneur, you're going down a completely different path. And the rules of engagement are not the same. People want to buy from individuals that they know, like, and trust. And there are a lot of people, believe it or not, they click on my videos and they come and listen to me talk just off the strength that my hair is blue. They're like, who is this lady, with this colored hair? And so that's part of attraction. Now, my hair isn't necessarily always this color, but for me, it's the embodiment of my brand. My brand is authenticity. I spell it AWE, leave people in awe of who you are. So if I'm going to tell people to show up authentically, I need to make sure that everything about my essence embodies that. So that's why I do it.
Mhm. I love it.
I do too. I can imagine that would give a lot of people who come to know you and work with you courage to come out of their shell and be who they really are, or how they really perceive themselves, apart from the way that they're accustomed or feel like they've been told to be. Like you said, the particular hairstyle, the certain clothing that we have been groomed to believe that is acceptable.
Yes.
So a lot of times that hides our personality of who we really are.
Yeah, I remember working with a woman, and she refrained from speaking her message. Her voice was always stifled because she was trying to monitor her hands. She's a handsy speaker. She's like, I can't speak like that. And I can't do this. And she had a little bit of an accent. And she was so concerned about fitting the archetype of what a professional entrepreneurial woman was, that for a long time, she didn't really speak her message the way that she wanted to. She had a little bit of a New York flavor, and she didn't want to do that. But now when she talks and you can hear that she's from New York, a lot of people are like, I'm from there too. I'm from Brooklyn, I'm from Staten Island. And so those little bitty commonalities, we forsake them. But it really wasn't just about that. It was about the fact that once she stopped policing herself, she was able to freely articulate her message. When you're too busy trying to make sure your makeup is perfect, your look is perfect, your speech is perfect, your hand gestures are also perfect, then you're not paying attention to making sure you're vocalizing the message that you were created to deliver. So then how do I know with a sound mind and spirit that what you created is even for me? So it actually causes confusion. People that are confused, they don't buy. And so that's why authenticity is so important in business, and we are often just not accepted as who we are. Society has these norms, and entrepreneurship is just beautiful because you get to create your own path.
Hmm. For sure. So if people want to contact you, how do they do so?
I always tell people to go to my website, because I want you to like really get to know me. My website is raw and edgy and expresses who I am. That's at augustcrenshaw.com. But for people that also want to like speak to me directly immediately, I predominantly am on Facebook. Send me a friend request. We reach out, send a message. I'm also on Instagram. Those are the two primary platforms where you can find me on social media.
Okay. So tell us about why you decided to do the Future is Now conference and give us a snippet of what you're going to be talking about.
Absolutely. Well, number one is because I met Lynn. I don't believe in doing anything unless my values are aligned with what it is that you're creating. And I had an opportunity to speak with her extensively. And the fact that number one, she wants to pour into our people, that's part of my mission already in the business that I have. And then also just the concept with the future being now, taking advantage of what is available to us as African Americans. I know that that's important. Believe it or not, there's so many of us that don't know really what it means to live stream, to do live video. We haven't mastered the virtual economy. And so anything that I can do to help move that message forward, then I want to be there. I particularly will be speaking on mindset in the conference. And that to me is the most important part. I have worked with women and I have given them every bullet point from A to Z. This is the strategy that you need to incorporate. But if the mind hasn't caught up to the bullet points, then there won't be any execution. And there are a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of ebb and flow in entrepreneurship. You will be challenged mentally, spiritually, and possibly physically. And so having a mind that is set for success is important, and helping individuals know how to tap into their inner strength. That's what the nature of my conversation will be.
Wow, that is powerful.
Thank you.
Yes, very powerful and very, very true. Because as an entrepreneur myself, and when I first started, I didn't know all that. I didn't know all of that. And it came to a place where I had to really begin to see all of the pieces, all of that's involved in being an entrepreneur. And it's more to it than just doing that business. Because as an entrepreneur, you're not on a every week paycheck, every 2 weeks paycheck. You're not on that system anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not. And it's amazing to me that sometimes we quote statistics and we say statements and we don't really internalize what that means. And so we'll hear things like 50% of all businesses fail within the first 5 years, but we don't really ask ourselves why. And a lot of individuals will think that it's because the economy, because that you jumped into the wrong business venture. But sometimes it's literally just the fact that you didn't have the mind to keep your head in the game and keep going, or something as simple as becoming more solution oriented. When you decide that you want to be an entrepreneur, you tell yourself the fallacy: I want more control. I don't want to work for anybody else. I want to start my own business because I want to do my own thing. And most of us, your life spirals out of control because you didn't realize you were going to wear all the hats, that you were going to be the cafeteria lady, the janitor, the service provider, that you were also going to possibly have to be the collection agent for the people that didn't pay you your money. You have to do all of these different things in addition to the fact that, wait a minute, I don't know what marketing is. I kind of just had this ideal and I thought people were going to support me and that this bad boy was going to grow overnight. And so you do gain control in entrepreneurship, but not the control that you were looking for. You get control over your life. And that means that you have to have a mind that has a higher level of introspection and accountability. So when you launch the product and it doesn't work, you don't sit there and say, well, I tried it, throw my hands up and then keep it pushing. You have to say, okay, well, what do I need to do? How can I do something differently? And maybe that is getting guidance from a coach. Maybe if you don't have money for a coach, you're going to have to buy a course. You will have to read a book. Maybe you just need to try. Maybe you need to keep repeating, because maybe your ideal is perfect the way that it is, but enough people just don't know who you are because it's a numbers game. If you don't have exposure, how are you going to get sales? How are you going to make money? And so a lot of people, they stop right when you should keep on pressing. They stop. And so like a lot of people that follow me, they have a Christian background. I'm like, but I thought you was pressing towards the mark of the high calling that God put in you. So how you stopping now? No, pressing is indicative of meaning that there's resistance. That it means that something's not going the way that you want it to go. But in order to get to that higher place, effort has to be executed. So most of the entrepreneurs that fail, it really isn't that the business didn't work, it's that they didn't work. And that's why I go in so heavily about mindset, because it is the crippling factor. It's the kryptonite for all businesses that do not work.
Absolutely, August.
Agree with that. Yes.
Oh, wow. People definitely need to hear that. And definitely, if you have not gotten your tickets already, please, please, please get your ticket. The Future is Now conference happening February the 8th through the 12th. And I mean, August, I can't wait to hear you because that's some power that you just talked about. And is something that when you first get into a business, you don't even think about.
Hmm.
And it slaps you right up in the face as soon as you start getting in. Oh my God, I got, like you said, you got to be a collector, you got to be a marketer, you've got to be a
Accountant.
secretary, everything. You win
Every hat.
every hat.
You know, one of the biggest things that I've seen with a lot of entrepreneurs is that they don't even realize they want the easy way out. It's like, where's my family? Everybody, some people have family support, but a
Mhm.
lot of people, they don't have family support. So they'll say things like, my business could be off so much better. And, you know, if only my mom, my cousin, my auntie, or whatever, you know, they'll ask me for money, but they won't support me. But they don't even realize that that's a very immature stance, because a business is an intentional machine. You've created something for people that specifically want it. So if you're a weight loss coach and your auntie is just as happy as she is with all that booty wagging behind her, you're not supposed to be mad because she doesn't want to buy your products. You may be into personal development, but your cousin may be like, look, I'm fine just the way I am. Leave me alone. And so a lot of individuals are hoping that something will happen from something supporting them, instead of realizing that you're supposed to be a beacon of light. You're supposed to be that city on a hill that cannot be hid, which means that you stand up bold, that you're tall, and you say, look at me. Look at what I have to offer. And I see you, your light's a little dim. So if I shine mine on yours, I'm going to change your life. I'm going to make your life better. And that's with everything. I'm making your life better because now your children have a daycare to come to. I'm making your life better because now you have the recipes you know to strengthen your health. I'm making your life better because I'm speaking to your mindset. You're thinking differently. Whatever it is that we're doing, we're answering a problem for somebody else. And that requires you to actually see yourself in the image of the divine. That requires you to say, wait a minute, I actually am great. And that mindset shift, that stepping into that level of confidence and realizing that it's your responsibility to sound with that trumpet and let people know who you are, is the thing that most people resist. And nobody else can do that for you better than you can do it for you. And it's not your mama, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your cousins. It's not anybody else's responsibility to do that but you. And when you tell people they need to support you or they should buy your products, you're basically saying you should pay my bills. You wouldn't do that to them on the job that you're working. So
Right.
don't do that when you start your entrepreneurial endeavor, because when you serve and you serve well, your people will support you, they will promote you, and word of mouth will spiral your business right out of the stratosphere.
Amen to that.
Wow.
Amen to that. Wow. So thank you so much, August. I can't wait myself. I mean, you are a very powerful woman and definitely speak the truth. Because as an entrepreneur, any of us that are entrepreneurs know exactly what you are saying,
Mhm.
word for word. It is not a pretty thing. You
Mhm.
know, there's days when you on cloud nine, and then there's days when the world is on top of you.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a strong mindset, you'll fall apart underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
Strong mindset, a mindset that has really been molded. It doesn't come overnight.
No.
You cannot change your mindset overnight, but it's something that we must pay attention to and allow ourselves to grow and do whatever it takes to, help that ourselves along that path. And part of it is being with people who have a similar mindset or have a mindset development mentality. They want to grow and they want to see you grow. When you're in the wrong tribe, it is not a good place to be. So mindset is, you have to look at the mindset of the people that are around you. Like you said, there are many people who are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs, but they give up because they don't get the support of the people that they know.
Yeah. You know what's so
For those people to begin with. If you're honest, the question is, did you start your business for those people that you know? Or were you starting a business to expand to everyone who needed your product?
No, absolutely. I'm sorry. It kind of got quiet. I didn't mean to interrupt. You made me think about a recent conversation that I had with someone. I worked with a woman at an event. She was like, it was so spectacular, but she disappeared from me for like literally almost a year. And then she just kind of came back out of nowhere. And I was like, but why did you go? And she was like, to be honest with you, after being at an event with you, I didn't feel like I met the standard. And so I had to deal with my own work. I had to deal with imposter syndrome. I had to realize that God equipped me with this. And I told her, I said, you know, you did the exact opposite of what you were supposed to do. Number one, if you didn't belong, you wouldn't have been there. But number two, my mentor has always taught me that you should be around people that embarrass you so that you have a level to step up to. If you're around people where you're always comfortable and you're never like, "Ooh, am I on my A game? Do I have this okay?" Then there's something wrong with that. I said, so the fact that you felt like you weren't meeting the part meant that you were in the right place because you were great as you were, but that was going to require you to evolve up to your next level. And so a lot of us, what we do, like you said, Miss Ruth, we don't check the tribe. We have a tendency to either go by ourselves or we huddle with people who are on the same level with us. And I personally believe you're supposed to be around three types of people: those that are not on your level, those that are on your level, and those are on the level that you want to be on. But the commonality has to be that the common denominator with all of these people is that they're striving. So
Yeah.
when someone's not on your level, that's so that you can pour into them to pull them up. The people that are on your level are to remind you that you're okay and to keep pushing. And the people that are on the level that you want to go to, it's so that you have somewhere to strive to so they can pour into you, because you got to keep pouring into those other people. And this is how we keep that reciprocal nature, especially in the Black community. It's about you're not pouring back into the people that are pouring into you. We're constantly spreading it around the entire community. And so most of us, we don't do that. We have a tendency to want to make sure we get our ish together. Then we want to be around people, but you can't get it together until you're around the people who push you into those uncomfortable places where you got to level up. So I'm glad that she eventually came back around, but I know plenty of women that have done that with other people that they're connected to too. As soon as you feel like you don't measure up, instead of admitting that or learning and growing, you disappear. And you got to stay in the game. You got to stay uncomfortable. You got to stay connected.
Amen.
Love that. Yes, that is true. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. And August, I can't wait to talk to you about some other things that we're doing, and definitely be able to hear what you have to share at the Future is Now conference. So one last time, can you just please give everybody your information so they can contact you?
Absolutely. And thank you, ladies, again. AugustCrenshaw.com. That's August with an E, AugustCrenshaw. And then on social media, primarily I'm on Facebook and IG under August Crenshaw. Reach out to me, connect to me on either one or both.
All righty now. Thank you so much and blessings. And we will
Thank you.
definitely collaborate with you more for sure.
Appreciate it. You guys, ladies, have a good night.
You
You
too.
too. Okay.
All right.
So,
All right. Next, we have Lexi Johnson stopping by the studio to share her gift with everyone.
okay.
Hi, Lexi.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies. Good evening, everyone.
Okay.
Hello, Lexi. Glad to have you. Let's give a little information about you. Lexi Johnson is an international speaker, a licensed financial coach, and co-founder of the global smart TV channel, LEXZ TV. Lexi delivers mind-shifting keynotes that disrupt the status quo. Affectionately known as Miss Worldwide, Lexi has many accomplishments in the United States and abroad. With outlets in 8 states, Lexi also provides independent contractor opportunities for women across the United States. Well, welcome.
Yes, welcome. And give us some little details
Thank
about your business.
Absolutely. So my mission overall in lives, and to do that by helping people to create generational wealth. That's what I'm all about. I first teach people very simple concepts on how to do it, and then I put a plan together, and then I'll help them execute their plan. So definitely just about helping people create generational wealth.
Okay. So let me just ask you, what type, when you say create generational wealth, is that like in the financial world, or can you just be a little bit more specific?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes, it's definitely in the financial world. We're teaching people, how to make their money work for them, because as we know, active income is not the way that we create wealth or create generational wealth for that matter. So we teach them how to make their money work for them. So whether that's investing in the stock market, or it's investing in businesses, or other alternative investing, that's what we're about.
Okay, I have to ask the question. Do you do anything with Bitcoins?
I do. Yes, I do. In fact, I've really been talking a lot with my clients and followers about Bitcoin, and not just Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency, because right now and it has been going on for a while. The dollar has been, devalued and continues to be devalued. And we know over time, money has evolved. So people need to get used to the cryptocurrencies.
All right. Okay, so your put part in the Future is Now conference. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be speaking about in that environment?
Absolutely. So I'm really excited to be speaking at the Future is Now conference. I'm going to be doing 2 speaking opportunities. One, I will be talking about really just sharing people a different way of thinking as it relates to managing their business finances so that they're successful. That one is called Financial Intelligence for Entrepreneurs. And then the other is about teaching people again about investing. So it's Wealth Building Made Simple is the title of the session. And I look forward to really teaching concepts they can take action on even as I speak.
All righty. So if people want to contact you, Lexi, how do they do so?
Absolutely. You can find me on all social media at Purposeful Lexi, or under Lexi Johnson, either way. Also on Clubhouse. And on Clubhouse, I'm under the Lexi Johnson. And that's how you can find me. My website is www.thelexijohnson.com. And if you just want to go there, you can find everywhere else that I'm at.
All righty now. I love it. Well, finance is a huge thing, especially in the African American community. And, one of the things that I've heard George Frazier say so much is that we have to stop being solely consumers, which is really, really.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Ruth, you want to say something? I hear you. I can see it in your face.
Well, it's always the question that I have when it comes to finances, and you talk about generational wealth and building real wealth. And yes, we have the cryptocurrency is coming up and will be, it's already operative, but be a dominating factor in the near future. What is it that causes, especially in the African American community, There's a fear factor when it comes to money. We tend to think of money only in terms of a paycheck that someone else provides. And then we think of it in limited, that it's limited, like that's all there is that paycheck. What can people do to start breaking that belief system?
Absolutely, that's a question because this is definitely something that plagues our community. And so I often say, and for those who follow me, they know that I talk about this all the time. Successful with money starts in the mind, and so therefore we have to work on the set of money beliefs, our money values, our money attitudes that have been ingrained in us. From the time we're born and even from generations before. We continue to reinforce some, negative behaviors or negative thoughts about money, and just truly understanding that, listen, money is just a tool. That's it. No more, no less. It's just a tool, and that we need to learn how to master that tool and use it to be able to create wealth. So the mind is everything. I can teach about the concepts and unless the mindset changes, there won't be success with money.
Okay. That is always my question when it comes to the money issue, because we see it so prevalent in the Black community, African American community, where people are really stuck in the belief that that's all there is a paycheck. And I'm thinking about one young man right now who has not had a job since forever, but it's not that he's lacking ability or the ability to do something, the ability to create something on his own. And I think that's part of it, which is the beautiful part about seeing so many entrepreneurs, African-American entrepreneurs. We're going back to doing things for ourselves, and learning how to use money is critical to our success. It's not about getting a check and having $200 in that check and deciding to spend $180 on a pair of sneakers. That is not a wise use of money.
Yes.
And we have got to get past that. And so I'm really glad to hear that you're going to be part of the Future is Now conference, virtual conference coming up in February. I hope a lot of younger people in the business world attend so that they can carry your message back to the community.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Absolutely.
And again,
Absolutely.
how can people get in touch with you? Because I know, finances is huge for me. I'm always reading things about, different commodities and things like that. So how can people get in contact with you?
Yes, once again, so I'm on all social media at Purposeful Lexi. You can, my website, www.thelexyjohnson.com. You can, my email is purposefullexi@gmail.com. So I'm just plugging in any social media, put Lexi Worldwide Johnson, you'll find me. I'm easy to find.
Okay. Awesomeness. Now, one other question I have for you is, why did you decide to do the Future is Now conference? What was your why for that?
Yes, thank you for asking that question. When I was informed that the conference was looking for speakers, and I went to the website and looked to see what the conference was about, the two things that struck me, actually the title of the conference struck me because I've always now, and then the fact that it is about economic empowerment for our community, for Black people. And I have been for a long time, desiring and have been working with our people to help them in terms of economics. So I was just passionate about everything, all of the objectives that they were trying to achieve, they will accomplish with the conference.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, I think it's going to be a powerful, I know it's going to be a powerful collaboration. From what I've seen with some of the lineup, it is definitely quite a few powerhouses that are on scheduled to speak at that event. So it's definitely going to be a great opportunity for people to learn and grow and just experience, a excellent collaboration. So for those people who have not gotten their tickets yet, February the 8th through the 12th is the event is happening. You still have a few more days to take advantage of the early pricing. So get on over to the futureisnowconference.com and get your tickets today. So we thank you so much, Lexi, for stopping by, and we're looking forward to more collaborations with you.
Thank you for having me so much, Ms. Ida and Ms. Ruth. Thank you all so much. Look forward to the same.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. That is just listening to August and Lexi, really important topics, don't you think, Ruth?
They're very important topics, and I can see where this conference is going to be a huge success. If people avail themselves of it, jump on in, get your tickets right now for the early bird price, which is good until the 31st, I believe. Yes, the 31st. So hop on in. The deadline's getting close, but you really don't want to miss this conference if you have an interest in the African American community, not just on the social level, but on the business level, because we have always had businesses in our community. Some of them were really small, almost not noticeable, but there have been other times in our history in this country where we have accumulated generational wealth, and we have accumulated creative and powerful business structures. And this is an opportunity to get to see a number of powerful, experienced business people who are successful and have information that they're willing to share. So go get a notebook and prepare to take notes for every conference that you're able to attend, to every speaker that you have the opportunity to listen to. So I'm really excited about this. I'm looking forward to it myself, and looking forward to see who all is on the rostrum, so to speak. I know there's going to be a panel discussion at some point of different experts in different areas. So there's going to be a lot to see and a lot to do, plus all the workshops that are going to be available.
Yes.
So not only pay attention to all the speakers, but also pay attention to all the different workshops, because there's a variety of workshops available about all types of topics, and most of them are going to be interactive. You're not going to be just sitting there, listening to someone talk. You're going to get to jump into the mix. So
absolutely. Yes. So
who do we have it all?
Yes. So who do we have coming next, Ruth?
We have Darius the Professor Wise, who has focused his life on helping people dust off their dreams and live a life of abundance. Darius has over 25 years of training experience, where he has trained audiences from local and federal government agencies, private sector companies, middle and high students, inspiring entrepreneurs. Darius is also the author of What Are You Thinking? So,
hey, Darius.
Come on in.
Hello, ladies.
How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic, phenomenal. Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate every time I get to speak with you all.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, come on in here. Don't act like a stranger.
Hey, y'all about to get some goosebumps now.
See, Ida, you starting already.
Yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah. So tell everybody about Darius the Professor Wise.
Oh, wow. Well, Darius, I am really excited first to be with both of you, Ida and Ruth. But a little bit about myself. I did write a book called What Are You Thinking, which was a 20-year project. And it was a 20-year project because simply I told myself for most of that time that I couldn't do it. So I really just spent the last 20 years of my life just working on me, developing my mindset, and really passionately going out and sharing those things that I've learned with everyone that I could. So I am just, I'm a father, I'm a husband, a father of four. My kids are growing up. They, for the most part, 3 out of the 4 are grown, 21 and over. So that's shocking. But, and my youngest is 14. So I really do a lot of things to really show them an example in the house of what they are capable of doing. So I really work to set that example here at home so that they can go out and do whatever it is that they have been called to do. So, and I'm just excited about the opportunities to really help people understand, develop, and really discover their phenomenal mind. So that's just a little bit of what I've done and who I am. But I'm just excited about the opportunities that are coming, and people are becoming more aware of the power of their thoughts.
Yes. Yes. So tell us a little bit about the book, what people can expect from the book, because I got the book and it's part of my daily thing to at least
Okay.
listen to one chapter while I'm doing other things. And sometimes I got to go back again and listen again, but it is really a powerful book. So talk a little bit about your book.
Well, the book is called What Are You Thinking? How to become more intentional, deliberate, and conscious with your thoughts. And really it's a collection of principles that get you to become more aware of the power of your thinking. I wrote this book because I really feel that we're in a situation where most people didn't understand how they got to where they are. They didn't understand why certain things were happening in their life. And instead of looking inward for the answers, we've been programmed to look outward. We've been programmed to look outside of ourselves for the answers to a lot of the questions that we have on why we're getting the results that we are getting in life, who is responsible for our life, and just understanding that we can and we have the ability to pretty much think ourselves into our ideal situation. The way the book is written, it's 21 chapters, and I really wrote this book as a book that I would want to read. I had issues with certain books, especially, personal growth books. I had issues sometimes because they ended up, really having stories that I felt were irrelevant to the point that they were trying to make, the principle they were trying to teach. The chapters were too long a lot of times for me. I wasn't one that wanted to read War and Peace every time, but I wrote the book. There are 21 short chapters, 5 or 6 pages, 7 pages. And then at the end, I have a section called What Now? That What Now section really gives the reader, regardless of where they are in their life, it gives them, powerful steps that they can take right now to actually start to implement the principle that was discussed in that particular chapter. I really believe that it's not the reading or the hearing of the information that's important. It's the implementation and the application of that information that makes a difference. So I wanted to give people things that they can immediately start to do and apply to their life so that they can start to create the new framework and the new mentality that they needed in order to achieve the things that they wanted to achieve. Oh, and then I'll say this. It's also, and Ida, as you had mentioned that, you kind of go through it in a chapter and everything every day, which I love. Thank you very much. But I wrote the book so that you can read a particular chapter in any order. I do suggest the first time you read it all the way through, but then I think it's a nightstand piece. I think it's something that should be on your nightstand. You have something that you go through that day. You can pick the book up, go to a particular chapter, and actually get answers and get some insight on those things that you may be going through.
Okay. That's the beauty of the book, yeah, because you don't have to do it all in order. You can choose what you need one day at a time. We're really excited that you're going to be a speaker at the Future Is Now conference, and because we know people are in for a treat. I've heard you before. We've interviewed you a number of times here at Just Minding My Business in our virtual studio. So we would love to get a little, well, just a taste of what you're going to talk about. We don't want you to give away the store, but we're special, so we want.
See, you are special, and I know. So that's why you're asking. You can ask those questions of me. So, but I'm excited about this conference, and I am going to be one of the keynote speakers. I'm actually speaking on the first day, on the 8th. But what I'm going to speak about, the topic of my session is leading with an intentional mindset. So all of the things that they're going to be discussing and sharing, and the information that they're going to be sharing at this particular conference, it's actually a very powerful lineup that they have. Just looking at the speakers that they're going to have and the topics that these speakers are talking about, I'm excited that they're including what I do, because I truly believe that if you don't have the proper mindset, especially as a leader, as a entrepreneur, as a business owner, you have employees, you have others that you're working with. If you're not aware of the power of your thoughts, the power of your words, how your thinking impacts not only you, but those that are associated with you and those that are in close quarters to you, I think that this is powerful to understand. Plus, if you are an aspiring entrepreneur, and you are telling yourself that you can't, and you're telling yourself all of these negative stories on why you cannot be successful, this is one of the reasons why this session is going to be so important. I always say, and I have a chapter in the book called the how doesn't matter, right? The how doesn't matter if you don't believe. So if you don't believe that you can be a successful entrepreneur, if you don't believe that you can scale up your business, if you don't believe that you can take it to the next level, if you don't believe that you can increase your bottom line, how to do it really doesn't matter. So I will be really talking about what are some of the things that leaders need to understand, and sharing with them how they need to, how leaders now need to integrate their intellect, which is their head, with their emotions, which is the heart. And that heart part is so often missing when you think of CEOs, entrepreneurs, business leaders. We skip over that because we think that that's not important in the workspace, in the workplace, and in your business. But I don't believe that there's a difference. We hear this, my personal life and my business life. And people say that they separate those things all the time. And my question is always this: how many brains do you have? Right? You have one brain. So how do you successfully separate your business life from your personal life, the emotions of it all, the events that are going on both places? If you don't control if you're not able to control your emotions, if you're not able to control your thoughts. So this session is really going to show, business leaders and entrepreneurs that, right now, and studies and research have shown that, right now, business leaders need to kind of slow down a little bit, be in the moment and focus in order to make those intentional decisions and impactful decisions, and just be thoughtful about the decisions that they're making, the impact that they'll leave behind. So I'm really going to focus on those that are a part of this conference. I'm going to focus on their well-being, help them discover their phenomenal mind, share some things with them that I believe will help build the tribe that they're building within their businesses, and just also give them the mental jumpstart that they may need to be successful at whatever it is that they're doing.
Okay.
All righty.
Forward to that.
Yes. So Darius, if people want to get in contact with you, how do they do so?
Well, I am on pretty much all social media platforms at Darius A. Wise. So Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of those. At Darius A. Wise. You can always email me at Darius@IamDariusWise.com. So that's Darius@IamDariusWise.com. And my website is IamDariusWise.com.
Okay. And how can people get the book?
Well, one of the easiest ways to get the book is it's on Amazon. And on Amazon, it does have the paperback. I did the audio for it as well. So it's available on Audible as well as the Kindle version. You also can get it on my website, IamDariusWise.com as well.
Righty now.
Very good.
So, one more question for you.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
was your why in doing this conference?
As I've mentioned earlier, Ida, is that I believe that this is a conference that is so needed in our community. And one of the things when it was brought to my attention, thank you, when it was brought to my attention, one of the things that really kind of stopped me in my tracks is the various topics that they were going to be talking about that really encompasses everything that you need to know and be aware of in the business world, but not just in the business world, but just in life, period. So I don't think it's a conference that's just for business owners. I think that we all need to be a part of it. And the fact that this is something that's being done in our community for our people, that, that we are really coming together to put on an event that really will help and bring a positive impact to our community, I thought was very special. And to be a part of that, I was really excited about the opportunity to be a part of that. And now I just really think that this is so needed at this time and where we are in society. I think it's needed. I think it's something that is long overdue. But at the same time, it really puts us in a situation for those who really take a serious approach to this, get involved. They can learn a lot and really step out of thinking this is what I want to do and start to say, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a few more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. So on that note, could you speak to the fact that so many people, even now after we've been in this situation for it actually has been a year. It was a year, January 21st. Who are still sitting around and with their head in their hands going, woe is me. How can you help them to wrap their mind around the fact that they are not helpless? They are not hopeless. They have a mind that they can use to create whatever it is that they need?
That is a loaded question, Ruth, but one that we need to talk about. In my book, I have a chapter that's titled "Why Me?" Right, and this is the chapter where people are talking, having that "Why me" syndrome. Like, why is it me? Why am I going through this? Why am I the one that has to suffer and do all these things? And I just want to read this to you. This is just the quote that I have at the beginning of the chapter. It says, "Small thinking begins with questioning why you are being challenged." So let me read that again. Small thinking begins with questioning why you are being challenged. So if you're saying, why me, you're not thinking big enough. And you're looking at it as the world has done something specifically to you. And you're not taking 100% responsibility for your life. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing, and a lot of people may say, well, the virus wasn't my fault. I didn't have anything to do with the virus. Taking 100% responsibility does not mean that you were the cause of whatever is going on in the events that are happening in your life. but that doesn't mean that you don't take responsibility for the role that you had to play in it. See, I think that the last year has really exposed a lot of different things in our society. And it has exposed a lot of things in people personally if they really take time and look at it. You know, how prepared were you for a disaster? How prepared were you for something of this magnitude to happen? Or were you just living day by day, right? Were you just hanging on and you were just living day by day? Or were you already in the process of preparing for whatever may come? Now, let's flip the coin a little bit. And I want to share this with you too. Those that are sitting with their heads in their hand and saying, why me, also believe the lie. So I've been sharing with people lately that, you know, we've been told things growing up throughout our life. And last year it's a whole lot of things that we've been told. And a lot of it is not true. But here's what I say is that, you know, people started to believe the lie. And so the lie became real. And the lie became real to a lot of people. And there's a difference between real and true. See, there's a difference. Real doesn't mean true. Real means that to you started to believe that. So a lot of people started to believe that there wasn't anything that they can do. A lot of people started to believe that, you know, you're never going to be able to get back on your feet, that you're going to be dependent on the government, or you're going to be, you know, dependent on these food lines and things of that nature to even survive. And so once we start to believe that, once it becomes a belief in our mind, what happens is now we create behaviors based on those beliefs. So if you were one of those that were sitting with you're sitting there like, woe is me? Why me? Why did this happen to me? What am I supposed to do now? What has happened is you believed it, that you were not capable of doing anything else. From there, you attached emotions to it. So it's fear, it's sorrow, all of these sad emotions that are attached to this thought. Now you create these beliefs. And what we're starting to see now is we're now starting to see the behaviors that come with those type of beliefs. And moving forward, because those beliefs are going to, you know, move people in a direction to take certain actions. Once they take those actions, what will happen is now we're going to get the results of that. So now in the next, you know, few months or year or whatever, we're going to start seeing the results of actions that people are taking today and yesterday. Mm-hmm. And then they'll sit back and say, how did this happen to me? And it happened because of how you're thinking. Here's what I think is so key. During the whole year of 2020, there were people that lost everything, but then there were people that gained everything in their space. People actually made money in 2020.
Yes.
People actually started businesses in 2020.
Yeah.
People actually, you know, were able to do better for themselves in 2020. And then there were those that just lost everything. And it's all because of how they were thinking. What was your thinking in that? And here's the last thing I will share based on, you know, just the things that we've been going through lately. You have to start reframing events that happen in your life. And when something happens, you are the only one that can say that that was a positive event or a negative event. And if you look at it as negative, then every time you think about it, you're going to get a visceral effect of that it was negative, that it was hurtful, that you were, you know, that it brought up it'll bring up these fears and the sadness that comes along with it. But if you reframe how you look at that event, so whenever something happens, I don't lose, I learn, things of that nature. You got to reframe it so that it's something that allows you to move forward instead of holding you back. My philosophy and how I look at things that happen in my life is based on an equation. And I shared this with you ladies before, I believe, but it's in the book as well, which is E plus R equals O. E plus R equals O is the event plus your response equals the outcome. So whenever an event happens, so COVID-19 happens and all these other things happen, those are the events. Most of the time, 90%, 99% of the time, you don't have any control over the event. Mm-hmm. But the event plus your response is what gets you to the outcome that you desire. So if you know what outcome you want, it's based on what you have 100% control of, which is your response. How do you respond to the event that just happened in your life? How do you respond? And not react, but respond.
Yes.
See, reaction doesn't take thinking. A response takes thinking. So knowing what I want the outcome to be, I need to think about how I should respond to this event.
Mhm.
Okay.
There go those goosebumps.
Yes. Hashtag goosebumps.
Hashtag goosebumps. We need to go out here and give people goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You delivered once again. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you, ladies.
You guys are going to be able to hear her as a speaker at the Future Is Now conference. And just this little bit, I know y'all got goosebumps.
If you don't, there's something wrong.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, again, Darius, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, you can always reach me on social media at Darius A. Wise on all platforms. You can always reach out through email. You can reach me at Darius@IamDariusWise.com. And then you can also go to the website, which is IamDariusWise.com.
All right. So y'all get them tickets.
I'm excited.
www.thefutureisnowconference.com, February 8th through the 12th. And you'll get to experience Darius the Professor Wise all over again.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much for dropping by the studio. We appreciate you. And we look forward to all of the collaborations that we have with you.
All right. I'm always excited to see you guys. So thank you so much for having me, ladies. I appreciate you all. And I will see you all on February 8th for the Future Is Now conference.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Be phenomenal.
You too. All right.
Wow. Okay.
What an awesome lineup.
Yeah.
We're just hearing from a few of the people that are part of this amazing conference. Next week, we're going to have a few more people who are going to be stopping by the studio that will be sharing their contributions to the Future Is Now conference. So stay tuned. Next Wednesday at 7:30, we'll be right back here sharing these amazing people with these amazing messages. So thank you so much. We appreciate you and stay strong.
Bye-bye.